All right. What up, everybody? Welcome to Fishy Hour. Sorry we're late. Today is Wednesday, and today is bait fishing with Roman and Brian. We're about to bring Brian onto the screen. Brian, you ready? Give me a thumbs up.
I'm
All right,
ready.
Brian's ready. Here we go. What's up, Brian? You're on. How you doing?
What's up, guys? What's up, Roman? It's Wednesday. We're here. We made it.
We made it, finally. Yeah. We had some technical difficulties after the quick little pre-show on Instagram. We shut things down and we had to turn it back up and tweak things really fast.
We were constantly battling with technology. One day we'll get this right, hopefully. But man.
All right, I'm gonna go to the people in the chat real quick. Say hello while the music is playing. So what up, Hyder? Hyder was first in the chat. Welcome to the show. Leonard, MMFC, what's up, everybody? The Bubba is back. What up, dude? Welcome back. Kel says MMFC. Captain Dan says 42320. Tyler, what up, dude? Welcome back. Roy, if I can't fish, at least I can listen to Fishy Hour.
All right, Roy. That's right.
Nice. Captain Dan
Hey,
says,
are you guys holding your fishing poles while you're listening to Fishing Hour? That'd be awesome. I mean, not your poles,
Fishing
your rods.
if you can't,
Wait a minute.
okay, here we go. Captain Dan says, water clear and a ton of kelp on the beach today, and that's no secret. And that's not so secret spot. Water temp up a few degrees too. Oh, nice. Every gun gets free beer. Nice. Let's see. Thanks for the intel, Captain Dan. Showtime, says Brian. Hey, wait, that's you. yo, says Doug. What up, Doug? Welcome. Halibut's still there too. Good stuff. Cool. What up, Aaron? Welcome to the stream. Coach in the house. What's good? Aaron, yay! Welcome back, Aaron. I see Wayne. What up, Wayne? MMFC in the house. Zach is here. Man, we gotta go. We gotta have all the regulars in here for sure.
House going here.
Yeah.
All the big hitters are in there.
Yeah, good stuff. Glad to have everybody back. What up, Hector Rodriguez? I think you might be new to the stream. I haven't seen you in a while. Wait, what up, fam? How are you, Roman? Doing good. Thank you for coming in and checking out the show. I hope you enjoy it. If you have any questions, just put them in the chat. Everybody say what's up to Hector. I think he's been on the show a couple of times, but he's not a regular yet. But we encourage you to keep.
Hey, what's up? Aaron's in there. What's up? I haven't seen you for a while, Aaron. What's up, dude?
Yeah, I gave Aaron
the bearded slayer.
Yeah, the bearded slayer. Yeah, it's been a minute, says Hector. Cool. Hyder says, I've got to drive, so just listening for now. No worries. Okay, cool. That sounds good. Hey, Hector, welcome. Cool. All right, guys. So as you know, we're gonna start the show with some quick announcements, and the announcements are.
Hey, before we do that, though, it's hot.
Okay, yeah. Okay.
I need a drink.
Okay, let's do the drink first.
I need my drink.
Let's do the drink first. Okay. So, for the newcomers or those that have missed a segment of the show before, I started every episode by popping a top on a soda or a beer or whatever, mostly soda. You're welcome to drink whatever you want. What's up, BDG? Welcome to the show. New to the stream. What's up? Nice. I see Roger. Oh, Roger Stern DFA. Nice, dude. Welcome, dude. Cool. Another DFA guy. Yeah, Death from Above in the house.
Hello, Roger. What's up, Roger?
Okay, so we start the stream by popping a top on a beverage. It doesn't have to be alcoholic. It could be whatever beverage you want because this is Fishy Hour. It used to be called Happy Hour, but it's fishy, man. It's fishy. So
yeah, that's right.
Usually I start first, but since we have a guest or a co-host starts first. So Brian, when you're ready, on a scale from 1 to 10, 10 being the best pop top you ever heard in your life, and 1 being the worst, rate Brian's pop top.
Feeling good about this. This thing's cold. Ready?
Dang, dude.
That's like what a can's supposed to sound like. Right? But wait, I've got a phase 2 I'm pulling in this week. Check this out. It's so hot. See if you can hear it.
That's some ASMR right there.
That's some extra credit points, dude.
Extra credit points at 10, a 10, a 10,
Oh,
a 9.
yeah.
Aaron says, now, Brian, that's an 11. That echo, though. So I'll have to give you the
I'm
echo
in this
bonus.
vast
Very
garage.
nice. See, this show is all about improving your skills. Any skill. When Brian first started doing Pop Top, he was getting like 2s and 3s, guys. Okay, I'm just saying. I just want to make a special note of the improvements you're constantly making. So good job.
It's all about the mic.
Here we go.
Ooh. It's good, but the end kind of went a little flat.
Yeah. I need more fizz. Need more fizz on that. Let's see what Leonard said here. Dan.
Cheers, Roman.
Even that pour was a 10 for you. Dan. Cheers. Thank you. Cheers, everybody. I got 5, a 7, a 7,
Cheers,
a 5.
everybody. Hopefully you have a cool beverage in your hand.
Oh, that's nice. That's nice.
Oh, that's some good sparkling water right there, man. That's the signature series. I think that's Walmart. Ooh.
Very nice. Cal's like, I just learned how to pop a top. A +5 for that pour, says Leonard. Yeah, that pour sounded great. Don't
forget to rate yourselves. You know, if you're out there,
cheers,
give yourself a rating. Cheers.
Very cool. Okay. Announcements. We don't have a plan yet for the weekend. We might, if you guys are open to it, let's fish on Saturday. We don't have any specific plan yet. So in the chat, what would you guys like to do? Would you guys like to fish the Bay, fish La Jolla?
The only experience I had with La Jolla this weekend, because I went on Sunday, was when the wind kicked up. It was really windy out there. Yeah. So we need to look at that wind report.
Yeah,
it was brutal.
That's true.
Right around 11 o'clock, it got brutal.
Yeah, and then like if you're out there, kind of like it sucks to get back in that wind. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point.
I'm hearing Coach say Bonito. I know the Bonito is crazy right now, though. Do we risk the biscuit on the wind and head out there and try to do a Bonito sleigh?
Nah. Hey, what up, Tony? It's been a while. Long time no see. Roman, how are you? Doing good. Brian, what's up? Yeah, just kind of trying to get the show rolling. Doing pretty good. Thanks for being in here and swinging that mod hammer on anybody that gets crazy. What up, Salty? Salty says 3 a.m. to 11.
Yeah.
3 a.m. to 11 a.m. That's about right. That's about right.
I might just go out there at midnight and stay the night. We're going to do that.
Yeah, that's true.
3 a.m. is too early for me, dude.
Yeah, but I'm down with finishing it like at 12, like doing a half day.
Yeah.
Like a half day. That was cool.
Well, it's been a while since we've hit Mission Bay, and my report on Mission Bay last weekend, it was definitely slower. Now it's not 110 degrees inland. I think a lot of the inland guys are not firing up their boats and jet skis and heading out there. So the Mission Bay was good. Fishing's always good there, and it wasn't too busy.
Oh, very cool. Guys, if you're not familiar with our Discord is a tool we use to communicate with each other, and when we're on the water, we use it to communicate while we're fishing. It gives us the feeling that we're fishing together, even though we're in our own kayaks. And one of the things we have on our Discord is a sub category called fish or catch share. And that's what Wayne is referring to in the chat. He says, I'm sharing bluefin tuna. Respond on Discord on catch share. So if you want some bluefin tuna, guys, isn't that freaking amazing? So I want to take a second and just like say how amazing this is. What other fishing resource, like the resource that we're trying to build here, what other fishing resource, what other fishing community can you go and somebody's going to gift you? I don't know if it's a gift or not. But anyways, you have access to bluefin tuna. If you don't have access to a boat or a charter, or you just can't go out and fish like you want to, but you want some bluefin tuna that's like going to be quality, probably fresh caught. Wayne's an awesome fisherman. He's sharing his bluefin tuna, guys, because he'd rather have it go to somebody to consume than freeze it. Okay, so if you need to know about the Discord, there's a link. Worf in the house with the quick Discord link. That's gonna take you to the Discord page. You'll need to install an app on your phone, or you can go to it with your computer, and it's a website. And the only way you can get in is through this link. This link is a special invite. Okay. If you don't have the special invite, you can't search for it and get in. It's got to be through this invite. So click on that, find the shared catch or catch share sub text channel, and there you go. All professionally processed. Wow. Very cool.
Yeah.
Very cool.
And
Thanks,
one more mention about the Discord. When MMFC gets together on Saturdays, that's how we're communicating. We're not meeting up. We're kind of a club, but we never meet up. We just get on the water. We put on our headphones or phones and talk to each other through Discord. So we can share the stoke, even if somebody's somebody's 100 yards away, we can hear the hookup, we can hear the stoke, we can hear what they caught. It's an awesome experience, guys.
Yeah, it's very helpful, and it does give you that feel that you're fishing together. Cool. So that's basically all the announcements. Once we figure out what the wind is doing, I'll make a post in the Mad Max Facebook group, which is also another thing you should be a member of, because that's where we post our trips specifically. It's easier to post trips there, and get a gauge for who's coming out. Everybody's welcome to come. It's just that we mostly do it on kayaks because that keeps us away from each other. Okay. What's up, Carter? Welcome. Carter's got a quick question, so I'm gonna copy and paste that to a notepad so we can get to it when we get to the question time. Let's go ahead and do a quick.
Okay. Well, hey, do you want me to answer that real quick?
Sure.
I can answer that.
Okay, go.
Okay, quick, Carter. So which bay you're fishing at? It looks like you're probably fishing at San Diego Bay.
Hey, Brian.
So what was it?
Hang on.
Yep.
I'm gonna put you full screen, and I'm gonna change my shirt because this is a long sleeve and it's getting hot. So I'm gonna get a short sleeve real quick. But
I'm in a garage. Go for it, Roman.
Yo, you should take off your shirt. That's
good. Shirtless Wednesday. They don't want to see that.
Oh, there you go. Shirtless Wednesday. All right, I'll be right back.
Okay. Okay, so Carter, yes. So I think it was 3 weeks ago, the club got together and we were specifically targeting rays and sharks. And what I recommend is you go south of the Coronado Bridge. There's an area kind of out in front of Pepper Park. There's like a flat grassy area out there. And it's if you're looking for stingrays or you're looking for sharks, there's a lot of them out there. And I recommend soaking baits. So get yourself a frozen mackerel for cut bait, get yourself some frozen squid, and set up a Carolina rig or a drop looper rig and drop that thing on the bottom and just soak some baits out there with whatever bait you can come across. I'd probably recommend going with the frozen squid just because it's easy to handle. And if you want, go back, I think 2 Wednesday shows 2 weeks ago on a Fishy Hour to 2 Wednesdays ago, and we break down the whole setup and everything on how to fish for sharks and stingrays. So go back to that show and watch it.
All right, I'm back.
They'll give you all the information you need. Probably too much information.
More information that you can process in one sitting for sure.
Yeah.
Cool. All right, that's good. So that's good.
Now, Zach, we're not going to do shirtless Wednesdays. There's no way. I'll have to go to we'll have to adjust my exposure. It'll be like gleaming white.
That's so funny. Let's see.
Okay, so I guess I'd like to talk about the Saturday outing with the MMFC. So let's hit that for a little bit. I'd like to hit a few topics on there. So, I mean, we had a guy come out for the first time with us on a float tube. Zach, or not, no, I'm sorry, Jesse. Jesse came out on his float tube. And that was awesome. Jesse, man, he's a pro at that float tube. He actually got all the way out from just about Shelter Island, Kellogg Park, all the way to the end of the jetty with that thing. So that's an epic journey on a float tube. I don't know. He has. It's the biggest float tube I've ever seen.
It was like a super float tube. I don't even know if that. I mean, his feet were still in the water, I guess, but he could.
It was a float
like
tube
super float tube
with the road. But man, props to you, Jesse, if you're listening, dude.
That was cool.
That was an epic journey for you, man. And the guy got out there and caught a legal halibut. So welcome. It was fun to have you out there. Fun to have a new guy out with us, and fun to have our first. I guess it's a float tuber.
Yeah, guys, it's true. It's our first mega float tuber. Mega float.
So now we've got boaters, we've got shore pounders, we've got kayakers, float tubers. What's left? I guess we got divers. So
yeah, we got divers.
We got lots of people in MOC at all angles now. So
do we have a skiff?
Welcome, Jesse. So my experience was we got a lot of small fish. It seemed like
here we go. Cal says it's a pontoon. I got corrected. He said, "Oh, it's a pontoon," because I think Cal called it a float tube. Okay, so we have a pontoon in our crew. Yeah.
It looked like a giant float tube. It was awesome, Jesse. That thing's cool. My suggestion, though, it had a trolling motor attachment on the back. Get out there and buy a trolling motor for that thing, and then you'd be epic, dude. You'd have best of all worlds. So we caught a lot of dinks. I think I caught 23 fish. I think I caught 2 legal spotties, but no legal halibuts. I know Salty got a legal halibut. Jesse got a legal halibut. And I think, did you get a legal spotty?
I didn't catch a legal spotty. I just got a bunch of spotties. Yeah.
Bunch of spotties. Yeah, I was having a spotty.
Oh, I know what it was. That was of note for me is that I caught like yes, I was on the 3/8 of an ounce gold blade, cool baits, broken in with a kind of with a loose hook.
Cool. Yep.
And the Paddler Z, shad.
Z-Man.
The Z-Man one, yeah. And that was money. Like I caught like, I had like a 20-minute section where I caught like 4 fish, like every other cast, and I was like, ooh, this is cool.
Yeah. And you know the cool thing about that thing is it'll last for like 10 fish. Those things will last.
Yeah, the last.
You guys want to see it here? I'm going to show you exactly what he was fishing. Just so.
Yeah.
What was it? The Z-Man? What color was it?
It was like a smelt.
This one?
It's like gray on top, and yeah, that's it. Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
So it's a Z-Man.
Oh, the one I was using didn't have the joints.
Oh, it didn't have joints. Okay, that's one size smaller.
It's one size smaller than that one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But those things are awesome. I think the buoyancy affects how the sink rate on that.
Just think of it this way: when you pull it off the bottom, it's also kind of has that motion to where it's not dropping. It has a buoyancy to it, so
it's not just dead plastic.
Especially if you're fishing the bigger one with what size did you say? 3/8.
3/8. Yep.
Yeah, 3/8 or quarter with that big Z-Man. It'll give it some buoyancy, and it just kind of hovers around the bottom.
Perfect.
And you can take it at a really slow pace with that.
I like it. So we got some good stuff coming in. Let's just go through these chats real quick.
Yeah, let's answer some questions.
Aaron says EM1 2000, you're in. Nice. Oh yeah, EM1's asking if you could come if you could be part of the club. Yeah, EM1 2000. The only thing our only requirements are that you don't be rude to other people, and that you're okay with learning and with sharing what you're learning. And when we fish together, we all kind of like share what we're doing to help each other out, to level each other up. So yeah, if you're okay with that, you're welcome to be part of the group. Anybody that has that link can go and check it out. Okay. Yeah, anyone's allowed to join. That's right, except for jerks.
we haven't came across a jerk yet.
So we haven't come across a jerk yet. Yeah,
cool, man.
We haven't had to kick anybody out.
Come on, join the show,
I think we just attract the kind of people that we want in the group. And if someone's like, these guys are like whatever, then they're probably not going to mesh well with us. Right. But I did see Aaron's comment. He says, how about MMFC against DFA online spotty battle? Define your terms, sir, and we will step up to that challenge. Most of us.
The question would be, can you guys get on the water?
That's what I was gonna say. Most of us fish kayak and boat, so I think you guys might be at a disadvantage there. So let's figure that piece out, and we could do something like that, Aaron. That'd be fun. That'd be cool.
Heck yeah, that'd be fun, Aaron.
Okay, let's see. What else? Real quick. This is good. I like the interactions today, guys. We probably won't get to everything we have on the list, so you want to just kind of start with the stuff on the list, and I'll kind of interrupt as things pop up.
Yeah. So last week, guys, I was super pumped up, probably maybe a little too pumped up about this world record. I've been going for the spotty world record for like 15 years, and it's a hard one to break, guys. It's 5 pounds basically, and I don't even know if that fish exists anymore. So last week, I talked about calling the IGFA about opening a line category for the spotted bay bass, because currently there is not one. And if you missed that show, the line category, basically the world record spotty right now is on an all tackle category, which means you can catch it with any type of line, any conventional rod and reel setup. And what I'm trying to get the IGFA to do is give us a line category where they open up a 2-pound record, a 4-pound, 6-pound, 8-pound. There's a bunch of records that would be vacant. And so with our current fishing conditions we have here in 2020, we could be setting line records.
Yeah.
And I've been working on them for about a month. And I got a call today, another call. They're calling me now, which is awesome.
Ooh,
so
cool.
they're in contact. So Nick, the guy, my contact down there, last time I told you guys that he was going to put us on Monday's agenda as a discussion to see if, hey, they're even going to consider it. Well, guess what, guys? They are considering it. So we've made it. Last week was step 1, getting put on the agenda. Now we've made it to step 2. We've approved. Well, let me go through this. So the way we got approved was Nick, the IGFA actually has a representative in SoCal. So Nick calls Chase, the representative in SoCal, and asks him, hey, this guy Brian's bothering me about these spotted bay bass, and I want to know what's your input on this specific fish. And of course Chase goes, oh, it's huge down here. Those guys, those spotty fishermen, you'll see them every weekend on the shore, or every week on the shore. You'll see them out there in kayaks, see them out there in boats. it's a big thing. And I mentioned to him too. I said, hey, there's like a spotty tournament almost every month, pre-COVID. And he's like, okay, well, he's starting to think about it. And his SoCal rep basically gave him that sounds like a legit fish. So he's second the motion, I guess you'd call it.
Ooh, nice. Yeah,
And the SoCal app is second the motion.
Yeah.
So Nick so now we've made it to step 2. So now they actually have they meet. This is not a bummer, but this is kind of a bummer. So they only approve, he said, about 5 to 10 fish a year for the line category. And don't forget, we're not talking just San Diego, we're talking the entire world.
Yeah.
So there's fish in Australia, there's fish in South Africa that are trying to get this stuff. So to get the spotted bay back, it's going to be a hurdle, guys, but we're going to do it. So the next step now is putting it on the ballot to get to one of the top 10 fish to be voted on their committee in January. They meet in January once a year, and that's when they do the big approvals. And they take all the local representatives from around the world, and they take that fish that they think they want to represent as a fish for a line category. So I think I've got them convinced to represent the spotted bay bass as a line category for the January meeting.
Oh, that's cool.
And I know. But we're not done yet. So what he wants me to do, so he has some ammo when he goes in and tries to fight for this, is to basically outline an email of why we want the spotted bay bass to be a line record fish. So I'm going to get together with everybody. This is something that I'm going to have to do. It's going to be a month-long email. We're going to put something together. I'm going to put together signed petitions, as many signatures as I can get. I'm going to put together like a list of all the tournaments and how big of a deal this is, and send him over a whole package that he can go in front of the committee and present.
I like it. Does it matter if we have different people make different emails? Or
I asked him
one thing?
I said, okay, so I asked him like that. I said, I can get it to where you're going to get bombarded with emails. But remember, this is the guy that's on our side, right?
Yeah, right.
We wouldn't be, if we gets down to bombarding, we're going to bombard the committee.
Exactly.
This is the guy that's representing basically us.
Yeah.
So what he wants me to do is to put together a package for him as ammo to say, hey, look at all this. This is why they want this fish approved.
Yeah. That's cool.
Our two guys now are Chase, he's our SoCal rep, and Nick, who's our United States. He is in Florida, and he represents the United States.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Chase and Nick. That's super cool. Yeah, we're super excited about that.
Hopefully they're watching, guys. If they're looking in chat, guys, if you want this to go through, give me a heck yeah or a yes we do, something like that.
That's awesome.
Because like last week, if they open up this line category, we're gonna have basically 5 vacant records for men's division, 5 for women's,
right.
1 for junior, and it also opens up fly fishing world record categories. So we'll be out there,
How
and
awesome would that be? Yeah.
It's possible for us to get a world reld because they'll all be vacant. So somebody's going to get it, and then we could be beating each other's records.
That's so cool. That's very cool.
For me, it's gonna be a Bay rivalry too. We can't let those Newport guys one up the Mission Bay guys, right?
Exactly.
I'm gonna be representing Mission Bay. That's my home bay. I consider that my home bay.
Super cool.
I want to come to Mission Bay, so
I love it.
I don't know. I'm excited. I'm really excited about it.
It's really good.
Really
good. Cool. Okay.
Does anybody have any questions about it?
So I'm like way behind on the chat. I'll catch up real quick, guys. But first, let's go with. So Wayne's put in a great reminder that lobster season opens at 6 a.m. October 3rd. So make sure you buy your lobster cards before that. Cool. Just a quick reminder. Salty says, okay, so 1 legal Halley, 3 legal scope, and that was a session for Saturday. Good. Let's see. Question from SD Fisherman. What up, dude? Welcome to the show. For spotties, when is the best time to fish? For example, high or low or incoming tide. Trying to look at my diagram I did last week.
You want to take that, or you want to take that question, or you want me to?
Go ahead.
I'll start on it. So the best time for spotting fishing, if you're talking pure numbers, is summertime. Once that water gets up to about 68 degrees, they really go kind of into a feeding frenzy. But besides summertime, look at your tide chart. Whenever you have like a 4 or 5 foot tide swing in or out, that's going to be the best time to get out there. So look at your tide chart, get out there when the water's about 68 degrees or maybe even 69, and you're going to get bit.
Yeah, he asked specifically lower incoming tide. With the way we referenced to it before is you want to fish the if you take the tide swing and divide it into four pieces. Here it is. Here's the diagram from last week, from the earlier this week. Okay. I'm not gonna do the whole thing. I'm not gonna do the whole thing, but I'm gonna just show you real quick. Let's see which way is upside, which way is up, which is okay. There we go. Okay. This is the tide swing from here to here, and this is divided into 4 sections. So quarter 1, quarter 2, quarter 3, quarter 4. On any given swing, you want to fish the second and third quarter. That's where you're gonna have the most water movement. And then from here to here, that's the swing that Brian was talking about. You want that to be like 4 feet, you said? 4 feet more plus?
Yeah, if it's too big, if it's like a big old 6 or 7 foot swing, it's too much.
Okay.
That's too much junk coming through the water, too much stuff coming off the bottom.
Perfect.
So I would say a 3 to 5 is about where you want to be. 3 to 5 foot swing.
Very good. Awesome. Okay, let's see. Aaron's regulating. Nice job, Aaron. Aaron needs to be a mod. DFA doesn't need. Okay. So Roger says DFA doesn't need to be on the water. Ooh, nice. Okay.
Man, some smack talking.
Thank you, Roger. Okay. Where's where am I at? Here it is. Okay, cool. It says EM1 says I'm all about that. Thanks, guys. Fish every weekend. Always willing to share info. Cool. Yeah, and if you have a kayak, most of the time we fish on kayaks. So hope you're on a vessel like float tube, kayak, boat, whatever. Okay. Let's see. I'm just kind of cycling through, see if I missed any questions. I'm ready to help. Said Zach. Cool. Oh, cool. Zach's ready to help with the emails. Let's let him know. There you go. Everyone against everyone says.
When I need you guys, I'll let you know. Right now, I'm gonna need you guys on forming this package to email over to him. I got a month to work on it, so let me get it started, and then I'll start talking to you guys about ideas and what to include.
Cool. BDG says I'm ready. I've taken spotties on the fly. There you go. Tyler says second.
Sweet.
What's a handicap for noobs? Says Zach. Oh. Repping
hey,
OC says
Zach,
Tyler.
You got big fish last tournament, so we're not handicapping you.
That's right. Cal says getting my lobster hoops ready. There you go. Yep, that's good. Good stuff, guys. This is all good information and good interactions here. The two different Aarons, Aaron and Aaron. The higher the tide, the better for me. But that's from shore. Interesting.
Hey, I'm going to give a tip on tides too, because this is a pretty valuable tip. It's not a huge tip, but it's something that took me a while to learn. So since we're talking about tides, I'm going to talk about this. So. Okay. I'm bringing out the whiteboard.
Yeah.
So here's the surface of the water, right?
I'm going to put you full screen.
Okay, cool.
Give me a second. All right, you're full.
This is a hint, dude, that took me a while to figure out, guys. I'm gonna give you this one. This is a free tip, but this if you go by this knowledge, I guarantee you'll catch more fish. So okay, here's the top of the bay. And I'm gonna draw a bottom. This is the bottom of the bay, and we've got a small drop off right here, like let's say like a 2-foot drop off. So where do the fish like to hide, Roman, on this type of drop off? Normally right here at the bottom, right?
Or above that. Like same.
Most of the time, they're just generally right there in waiting.
Yep. Because the water's coming over them. Yep.
Let's say we've got an outgoing tide this direction. So this water's kind of going like this and heading out there, right? And do you guys ever notice that sometimes you go to a fishing spot and it's incredible? You fish there, tons of fish. You go back there the next day, there's nothing. So one of the reasons is okay, so you're fishing the tide swing, but which tide swing are you fishing, in or out?
Yep.
Certain spots are good on in, certain spots are good on out. Now, if you have a situation like this where you have a drop off and these fish are all cuddled up here on the bottom down here, when the water is coming in this direction, these fish are waiting for something to come through here and pounce up on top of it. And if you come back to that same spot, maybe at the end of the day or late in the day when it's coming out, it may not be as good because these fish are not waiting for stuff to float this direction. So my advice on a spot that's normally hot, but sometimes is not, it's because you're fishing either outgoing or incoming tide. So that spot might only be good on a certain tide direction. Did you notice that on some of your spots?
Yeah, so let me go back to split screen on this. Yeah, that totally makes sense because also the way the fish is facing, he's gonna be facing the current, right? So he's gonna be facing into the bump, seeing the stuff that is coming over the top, right? When the tide changes, it's hard for him to basically be facing down current because that's not how they're designed. That get taken away by the current, right? So yeah, that makes some good sense right there.
So they normally are sitting around this area right here, and when the current is going this direction past this drop off, that's your best time. If you're lucky enough to have a fish finder, you'll find these kind of drop offs, and you'll see all the fish packed up down here. So fish this on the direction of the drop off, when the water is flowing towards the drop off, because they're going to come up off the bottom and hit it. And even if it's an outgoing tide, you may get fish there, but this spot is going to be hot when the direction of the water is correct. There's a couple spots like everybody knows the spot in front of the Baha'i restaurant. Everybody in this chat fishes there, and you guys have got to figure it out. But that place is only hot on one of the tides, out or in, and you guys have to figure that out. I'm not going to tell you when, but that spot's hot. But you got to figure out if it's an incoming and outgoing. And when you guys figure that out, let me know which one it is. So
very cool. Very cool.
There's a lot of times everybody hits that spot like, dude, yesterday this spot was blowing up. It was awesome. And now, later in the day, there's nothing here. And it's because of the difference in the tide direction. Yep. It makes spots hot and not. So pay attention to your favorite spot. If it's blowing up, remember what direction the tide is going and go back there on that same type of tide. And it'll probably be good again the next time you go out there.
There you go. Cool. I see Zach putting together the pieces there. Very cool. Yep. Yeah, it's kind of like the part of the fun of the show is if you hear us talk about something and it's maybe it doesn't make sense maybe it doesn't make any sense to you yet, and then you go and you fish for a couple more weeks and then you come back and you hear the same thing and you're like, oh, okay, yeah, now it makes more sense. It's kind of that's you growing. That's like Zach. That's you kind of like putting it together right there where you're like, okay, that makes sense. Why some of those spots were like working for me and then the next time they weren't. So cool.
Yep.
Good stuff.
So Zach, pay attention to that tide. If you're fishing that spot on an in or an out tide, and then mentally mark that in your head, I'm going to go fish outgoing tide to this spot, and it was hot last time, and it'll probably be hot again.
Right. Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. After the bite, just dies completely. A fish here and there.
I'm gonna let you field the questions just because my chat is so small.
Yeah. I'm kind of looking through real quick, seeing if we missed anything so far.
Okay, let's get caught up on questions before I go into the next, I guess, segment.
Yeah, right. Segment, I guess. Next topic.
Yeah. Does anybody have any bay fishing questions right now? Now's the time to ask them. If not, I'm gonna move on to the next setup.
No, I think we're good.
Okay, guys. So.
Let's see. How's the stream, guys? Can you guys do me a favor and make sure the stream is performing okay? Am I blurred to you, Brian?
Slightly, but not bad.
Okay.
Hopefully, is my screen coming in clearly?
It's looking good. I can read the letters
awesome.
behind you.
Guys, I upgraded my internet, guys.
Yeah, super cool. There's 21 people in the stream and 13 likes. Do me a favor, hit that like button, guys. It's gonna help YouTube share the stream. Oh, you know what? It's I think it's
stream is good. Oh, did you guys notice the lights too? How do the lights look? Does it look like, am I getting closer to Roman quality? We're working on it, but we got new lights. I don't know if you guys noticed the backdrop, but hopefully it's starting to look a little better.
There we go. Aaron's asking if where should he fish on a low tide?
Oh, like a slack tide? And Aaron, if you're talking about shore pounding stuff, shore pounding is not my specialty. I really fish from a boat. I don't do a lot of shore pounding. I think you could answer that question probably, Aaron, better than I could if it's a shore pounding question. But where I fish on a low tide is in deeper water, so I go where it's deeper. I'll try the rocks first, and if they're not biting there, especially in the summer, because it gets that low water, and I don't think they like the sun. So I think they try to find a place to hide. So first thing I do is I check the rocks. I see if they're hiding in the rocks, trying to get in the shade. And if they're not in the rocks, I try to go find the unicorn, which is a shadow across like a tree.
Yep.
Or a big boat or something, or the docks where there's a shadow cast in the water. Because I think they like to sit just like we would in the shade. They don't like to be sitting out in the sun, especially when the tide's not moving.
Yeah.
And if that's not the case, then I go to deep water.
Yeah. So just a little fun fact from a diver's perspective, and you guys probably experienced this before too. If you've ever been snorkeling, like for example, if you go snorkel the La Jolla Cove, right, or the caves, your face is in the water, or even if you're snorkeling around kelp, it's hard to see into the shadow. Even if you're right next to it, like you won't like the shadow will be right here, and you won't see anything in the shadow until your face is actually in the shadow. And then you can see in the shadow, right? It's just really hard to look into a shadow. So I think the fish use that as cover. You know, they'll be in the shade, and then whatever's outside the shade can't see into the darkness, but they can see whatever's out in the brightness, right? So that's probably why they're living in the shade. Anyway.
Yeah, shade. My main advice on spotty fishing too is never stay in the same spot too long. If you've casted there for 5-10 minutes and you haven't caught a fish, there's probably no fish to be there. So move along. There's nothing to see here. Move along.
Cal said
Keep on truck.
Cal said his screen is blurry, but only because he's on the second beer. And then Salty said that's a hell of a beer.
Yeah, I think Cal drinks those IPAs.
But Cal drinks a 40 ounce at a time. Just kidding, Cal.
He's bringing out the King Cobra, the Mickey's
Edward 40 hands.
Oldie. Cal, are you not supervised again tonight?
Yeah, Cal's unsupervised, I think. How does the traffic was terrible? Yeah, I was just gonna say the shade helps the ambush exactly. Oh, Guinness. Oh, I love Guinness. It's such a good beer.
Oh, Zach says the 20-inch spotty looks good. By the way, if you guys didn't see me unbox that last week, that came from TV Metal Arts, Todd.
That's right.
Local artist, metal worker, dude. That thing is killer. I don't think it does it justice. Like after the show, I take that thing down and I put it inside my house, and it's on the wall. It looks so awesome. Everybody that's seen that thing's like, oh, that thing's killer. So hopefully you're going to get a big order of those, Todd, if you want to do that fish. But I love it. It's a 20-inch spotty. That's probably like, I would say a 3.5-pound spotty if you were to catch that guy right there.
Dude, that'd be cool. I just put the link to tvmetalart.com in the chat, guys. That's where you would find Todd. He does great work. He also did this beautiful yellowtail back here for the show. I'm gonna go full screen real quick to show you guys. Oops, that's Brian drinking full screen. And here's me. There it is. Oh, this way. So this awesome yellowtail back here. Very cool. Very cool.
I think the guy can do any fish. I think I don't know. I
Yeah,
think if you have a specific fish in mind, you can. Like I just told him spotty and sent him a picture, and there it is. So
very cool.
I think he can do any fish. Maybe.
Yeah, he's working on a Mac. He's working on this Mac specifically. Like he took the actual design and he's gonna make it look like that.
That's gonna be cool.
That's super cool. Okay.
I'm gonna tell him to make that a double. I want one too.
Oh, cool. There you go. 1 year counts as one. That's very cool. Cool. All right. Let's see. So unless any new questions come up, we're going to continue on with the pre-programmed schedule.
Programs? Yeah.
All right.
Okay. So
pre-outlined.
I hope the video quality is good right now. So you guys heard me talk about the world record, right? And to me, the line category is going to open up a whole new wave of fishing, and I'm already getting prepared, guys. I'm already starting. I'm expecting to just go through in January, so I'm going to be loaded, ready to go. I'm going to be, what do they say, hit the bricks running.
Hit the ground running, yeah.
Hit the ground running, that's what it is. So I've already got my 2-pound setup. This is it right here. I didn't go out and buy a rod and a reel just for this. I just happen to have a lightweight setup. So I have a 500 size Nasi on a Phoenix, what is this, Inshore Series light rod. It's like what is this thing? It's a 7-1, so I can get a pretty good cast out of it. But I've already spooled it up with 2-pound line, guys. And if you've never fished with 2-pound line, this is what you do right now. Reach up to your head pluck a hair if you got one and try to tie a knot with it, dude, because it is super thin. I couldn't believe how thin this line is. It is literally like a hair off your head. It is. I know the trout guys use it. I don't know. I've never tried anything like that with a spot.
Is this setup considered an ultralight?
I'm going to consider it my ultralight because it's a 500 size spinning reel. That's as small as I'm going to get, and it's a light. It's a light with a really light tip rod. You know, so when that 2 pound line does get bit, it's going to be full bend. You know what I mean? It's going to be keep full that bendo. Pressure.
Yeah.
Full bendo without you want. You want to be sensitive with 2 pound line. I have no experience, so this will be my first weekend with 2 pound line.
You don't want to set the rod with the ferocity.
It's not going to be like a 30 pound speed. I'm imagining it's going to be like it gets bit, and I'm going to slowly crank and finesse that fish in. But I'm excited to try it just to see what 2 pound line's like. Probably just going to fish like some jig heads, some cheap lures. Hopefully I don't lose anything. I'm really going to set the drag up. So one test I wanted to do is I want to actually test with the scale what this 2 pound line breaks at.
Okay, that's good.
I've rigged this up, and let me tear my scale. And by the way, guys, if you haven't got a scale yet, please go invest $20. Get out there and get one. Like, this is a $20 scale. It's totally worth it.
I'm gonna go full screen on you, okay, Brian?
Okay, you're gonna need to see it though, okay?
Yeah, I can see it. That'd be easier to see it this way.
Okay, guys. So it's totally zeroed out right now. And I am going to, let me grab that line. I'm going to set this thing up to where I'm going to see what this breaks at. What is its break strength? So I'm going to tighten up the drag. I'm going to actually loosen up the drag and start out at really low. Hold on, technical difficulties. When you drop a 2 pound line, it's hard to drag.
Hard to see it.
It's especially in these lights, hard to see. Okay, so I'm hooked back up here.
That's so funny.
Okay,
Salvador, welcome to the stream, dude. Salvador, Kevin's here. What up, Kevin?
I'm attempting science here, but let's see. Let's hope it's not a fail. Okay, so read these numbers, Roman. This is like super loose drag. What are we at?
Okay, I'm bringing this over here so I can see the big screen. Okay, so I'm gonna say 0.17.
Okay, so I'm gonna tighten this drag.
And I'm just gonna say the numbers. I'm not gonna say the point, so that way it's easier to say. So if I say 100, that means 1 pound. Okay, so 0.5.
What are we at?
59, 61.
Okay, so that feels like a pretty good tug, believe it or not. I'm surprised that's only half a pound. So let's go here again. I tightened up the drag a little bit. What are we at?
40, 59, 74.
Okay, the drag's not as sensitive as I thought. I'm gonna do a full 360 twist on my drag.
Okay.
What are we at now?
112, 114. The glare.
114. And you know what?
Tilt it forward a little bit so I can see it. No, the other way.
Surprisingly, it feels like. Let me get the next pull. Yep. I'm gonna do another 360.
And when you pull it up, kind of tilt it forward a little bit so I can see without the glare.
How's that look?
Tilt it forward more. Perfect. Okay, go for it.
Okay.
Just pull it straight up.
Here we go. This might be the break. What are we at?
140, 130, 140. 145.
Dude, that's like a lot of pull. And you know what? This line has some stretch to it. It's like I can feel it. It's not like braid, you know?
Yeah.
Like it's stretching a little bit. So this 2 pound might work. I'm gonna tighten it. I'm gonna basically tighten it another 360, and this will probably be the break. So let's see if it breaks with this. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready. It's glare.
You see
it? Yeah. 150. 150, 165, 158.
Okay. Back down. This is probably the last one. This is going to be right. So
that's pretty good.
Theoretically, guys, this should break right at 2 pounds.
That line, because it's rated for 2 pounds. Correct.
Yeah. Okay, here we go.
Twist it so I can see it better. 185, 192, 178, 192, 196.
So 192. All right. So this 360. So guys, I mean, I'm literally pulling on this pretty hard. It feels like I'm pulling hard. This 2 pound line might be stronger than we think. Okay, this is going to be it. Okay, and you know what? One of the reasons I'm doing this is not to just see how much it'll break, but I think when we're getting into these line categories, and I want to start prepping you guys, and I want to start prepping myself, because it's going to be a journey to get these world records. When we start fishing 2 pound line, we're going to have to get to this level of setting up our drag. I mean, I don't think that we set it up, we kind of pull it, we feel it,
Yeah.
But if we actually land a 2-pound spotty on a 2-pound line, I think we might have to get out and actually start like getting this technical before freak fish of calibrating our line, because we don't want to get that 2-pound spotty, get it almost to the boat and it breaks off. And I think every little thing we do will get, let's just say, the MMFC, all the world records, and the DFA if they can get one too.
One. I think I get one too. That's
all
a
right,
challenge.
ready?
All right, I'm ready.
Here we go.
152.
What? Let me crank it up.
Hey, Brian, when you're bringing it up, so twist the face of it like this a little bit so I can see without glare. Turn it.
Okay.
Turn it this way. I guess it's like here. Turn it like this. That's good.
Right there?
Yeah, let's try that.
Okay.
That works.
Oh, it's really pulling now.
185, 180, 191.
Oh, okay. So one more 360 ought to do it. This is harder than it looks, guys.
Here we go.
All right, here we go.
Twist it.
God.
Oh, that's fast. That's 250. That's 250.
What?
That was 249. That was 249.
Pounds?
Okay, so this is good. This is gonna bring me to what I wanted to share, but I didn't have a line prepared for this. So, as you guys can see, there's more. There's potential for the line to stretch. I think that's what's happening, right? So
that is what's happening.
So it's giving you more than 2 pounds. That's good, right? I think
Hey, let's break this, and then you can go get a piece of line real quick and describe your theory. I think that's the only way you're gonna be able to describe it.
What's the drag limit on this reel? Wayne's
asking. I don't have it in front of me, but I would say it'd be less than 10 pounds.
Okay, cool. Okay,
so I'm gonna crank it way down. I'm gonna button it down.
We're gonna make it break.
And we're gonna make it break.
Okay, I got it.
There, you ready?
Yep.
Let me see if you got it clear.
Twist it a little bit. That right there, perfect. Okay, so there we go. 1. Oh, there it was. It was like 2. Oh, it froze. What is it?
2.89.
There we go. That's good. I like that it froze.
So just under 3 pounds. I think that's because, like you said, the stretch.
Yep.
Now, do you do the demonstrator, or do you want to grab your line?
If you have some there. Okay, so let's describe the theory first, and then you could do the actual demonstration. Yeah, I'll describe it, and you can do the demo.
Sure.
Teamwork. Woo. Okay. Hang on. So okay, here we go. So a while back, I was at a tackle shop, and one of the customers there described this to me. He said, and that takes you back to what people say. Oh yeah, tight lines, right? Tight lines means you want to have, always for contact with the bait, so you know what it's doing, right? But also when you get a bite and you set the hook, you want your line to be taut so that it doesn't snap. And so basically, you have line that is that doesn't have any slack on it. Doesn't give you the opportunity to gain momentum on it and snap it. But if it's slack and you set the hook kind of hard, then the impact goes from like is much more direct to the line as opposed to stretching it out gradually. If you're already on a tight line, right? So the way the guy showed this to me, he's like, look, this is how it works. He asked the guy behind the counter to give him a piece of like 4 pound mono. Or in this case, we're gonna do it with 2 pound. What is it?
Mono.
Is it mono? Okay, cool, perfect. So 2 pound mono. And first, I'm gonna ask Brian to take. We kind of already did that with the scale. The scale broke.
Well, I can do it right now.
Okay,
I got it.
So do it slowly.
I'm putting a ton of pressure.
Do it slowly.
I'm seriously, guys. This is a 2 pound. I know you can't see that line, but
we can see it.
I am pulling on it. Okay, you can see it digging into my hand. Oh, there it goes. So
okay, cool.
It took a lot. It almost cut me. So that's how much pressure it took to break that line.
So now you take it's the same line, guys, the same piece of line, and instead of doing a gradual pressure application, he's gonna put his fist together. Okay, gonna bring it up. There, he's gonna put his fist together, and look at that slack on the line. He's gonna put his fist together, and he's gonna just pop it. See how much it takes.
Like nothing.
Yeah, see that much. How much was that? Maybe like 6 inches of slack.
Yeah. So
right?
yep. I'll do it again in case you missed it. So
Really
it's
quick, six
literally like
inches
if
of
there's that
slack.
much slack right there, see that? I mean, it's just a little loop right there. It literally
Yeah, it just
right
pops.
when you pops. Versus when I was just pulling that taut line, it was like cutting into my hand almost.
Yeah. So it gives the mono a little bit of time to accommodate for the extra pressure. So like I'm sure that's popping right at 2 pounds. It would just be hard to measure that. But yeah, you guys can do this. You can do this experiment on your own. Just get some light line, maybe put some gloves on so you don't cut your hands. But it really illustrates the point, and I'm really glad that guy showed me that in the shop. I was like, wow, it wasn't even one of the guys that worked at the shop. It was just like another customer. He's like, oh, let me show you something. I was like, oh, that's cool. It blew my mind. So good stuff.
Yeah, and that's if you're not fishing braid. I mean, you're fishing 30-pound braid. That might not mean a lot. I mean, it does because you're fishing probably a smaller leader. But when we get into these lightweight categories,
Yep.
this stuff is definitely going to mean a difference. And plus, I mean, lures are expensive, man. You want to keep that line tight. I mean, you don't want to be casting your $8 lure out there and
Yep.
break off, break off, break off. It's an expensive day. So keep an eye on your lines and keep lines tight. That's the same, tight lines.
Perfect. Yep. What's the okay? Good. Let's see what the commentary is on that.
Yeah,
Yes,
those for some questions.
yes, Zach, that's correct. So slack will increase your chance of a fish breaking the line. Correct, because it gives that because it's not just you setting the hook that could potentially pop it. It could be the initial. If you've seen a fish take off at underwater, like you'll see the fish there in the sand, and then it just goes poof and disappears. It's just like boom, takes off, and that shock, even if you're light on your hook set, that shock can pop the line. Just the fish itself just taking off on it because it's 2 pounds. Remember, so yeah, what's gonna save you is that drag, and then your rod is gonna bend. It's gonna give that mono a little bit of more, like a fraction of a second more time for it to start to stretch, as opposed to just like popping solid against something that's like holding it strong.
Yep. And your drag is going to be really important. That's going to work just as good. Even if you have a tight line, but your drag is buttoned down a little too tight,
Yeah,
it's the same effect.
yeah.
It'll just snap it.
It's
So
a
you want that drag to be set up to take drag. I mean, of course, you have to have it. There's give and take. You have
Yep.
to have enough drag to set the hook, but not too much drag to break that line.
Yeah, the drag and the line, it's all a system. You got to think of everything in that system. So,
Yep.
but what are you gonna have your drag set to when you're fishing with this setup?
With this setup, probably about a pound and a half.
Cool.
I don't know. I'm brand new to it.
Yep.
So when I go out this weekend, I'm going to set it at a pound and a half and make adjustments.
Cool.
So I'll give you guys an update next week on how the 2 pound line went. Maybe
Let's
it'll be
go.
a disaster. I don't know. I don't know. We'll see. It's amazing too. That 500 size reel, I probably could have put 200 yards of that line on there. It just goes and goes. I'm like, is it full yet? My arm's getting tired trying to get all this. It holds that 2 pound line on a 500 reel. I think there's about 200 yards on there. It holds a ton.
That's awesome.
So if
To
I do get an epic battle, I can fight him for a long time.
right. Same to coach is dropping some good stuff in here. He says you can rewatch after it's okay. Cool. It says yes indeed. Yeah, he's answering Zach's question. Then he says same thing with yakking and pumping. The more steady you keep it, the more likely you are to get the fish to hand. By the way, gents, softer, slower rods help tons with light line. Good point.
Yeah.
I would almost bet cash you will catch more fish with those smaller baits you use with the lighter lines. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, true that.
I know that's going to be a good theory to prove too, because we're always wondering, spotties will bite anything, and we're usually generally fishing 30-pound braid and a 15 or 12-pound leader. It'll be interesting to see if the bite rate goes up with it. I mean, 2 pounds invisible. I can barely see it when it's 5 feet from my face. So it'll be interesting to see.
What do you think is gonna happen? I think it's gonna go up. I think you're gonna get more bites.
I don't know. My hypothesis would be same amount. I think,
Okay.
but
Okay.
maybe. What I think I'm going to struggle is when you're reeling and it gets snagged in the grass. Normally, you just kind of pop it out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to have to figure out a way to finesse it out. And with that being said, I think what I'm going to fish more with this is going for a Texas rig bait maybe to start out, because then it'll just slide kind of through everything just to kind of figure it out first.
Yeah, weedless for
Texas
sure. That's
weedless. I'm going to start with weedless, the Texas rig, on my 2-pound setup, see how that goes. And if it goes good, I'm going to go right to the underspin or the jig head or some other bait. So just to get a feel for it. But I think it's going to be hard getting through the grass, but we'll see.
Yeah. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Okay, so Coach says, I'm almost certain hookup ratio will increase. Not because of visibility, says Coach. The lure will have far more action with lighter line. Ah, cool. Lighter lure will also snag less.
Yeah, I think I discussed that like many episodes ago about how I like to finesse fish with ultralight setups. And when I was back thinking ultralight, I was thinking 6 and 8 pound. That to me was all. This is ultralight.
Yeah, Salty's got a good point too. Salty said he thinks the hookup ratio might go up, but the landed fish and the landing fish might go down or normal. That's interesting. Yeah, it's true because it get broke off. Like when we were having the small rod challenge, I hooked up into 2 bonitos. I know for a fact one was a bonito because it broke right at the boat, and then the second one it took off the same way, and that one just snapped. I couldn't even get it to the boat. And it's still
what were you fishing? The
Spider-Man rod.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's funny. Cool.
Man, that would have probably won the other category too. Damn, you'd have been going for the sweep. So I guess one more thing I want to talk about is, since we're talking about ultralight stuff, is something I don't think we've mentioned a lot. It's a Texas rig, right?
Yeah. Well, let's hang on to that one for a second before we continue. I see 30 people in the stream, guys. Do me a favor, take a split second to hit that like button. 15 likes. Let's get this show as much likes as possible so that YouTube knows that people are enjoying it, and they can promote it to the rest of the people that are subscribed to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to this channel, guys, it's not my normal channel. This is a completely different channel. So we're still trying to build it up. I think we're at like 200 subscribers. So if you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we're going to continue on with the show. And just a quick
and hopefully the show will grow huge one day, and you guys will be the guys that were there in the beginning.
There you go.
Let's hope, right, Roman?
Awesome.
Oh, so, before I get to Texas rig, we don't have a science project going, and I've always said we've got this community. I would like to keep information coming in, so I'm going to introduce. I didn't even tell you about this, Roman, but I'm going to introduce the next. It's not really a big science project like our other one. If you see the board up here, can you guys see that? That was our last science project. That was a good one. We tested if color of swim bait matters, and for like 4 weeks, we all fished odd swim baits that we don't normally fish, like the pink color, some orange color, the stuff that I shouldn't say odd, the stuff that's doesn't look like it should be in the bay. It's not like a natural color.
Right.
And I think we came to the conclusion that maybe the bigger fish, and we were doing a little better on natural, but the odd colors still worked. We caught tons of fish on those. So we came to the conclusion that, maybe natural might be a little bit more consistent and maybe get the little bigger fish, but everything catches it. All spotties like all colors. So the next thing I want to mention, okay, so there's 2, I guess, very popular types of swim bait. This is like the common one with the paddle tail, and then there's this guy, which has the curly tail. And I want to know what your guys' experience is on these 2 types of lures. Me personally, I fish the paddle tail a lot. Occasionally I fish this. This is more like on the grubs. And there's swim baits out there that have it that look like this, but it's just a curly tail, and when it's going through the water, it does this twisting motion. One thing I like about this is you can go really slow, and it really gets a lot of action at a slow speed, these curly tails. So I want to start. I went to the store, and I tried to find 2 baits that were like the exact same color, just different tails. So I got these 2 guys right here. Can you see those pretty good?
Yeah, those are
so
good.
They're like very similar in color, very similar kind of in body length. And I'm going to be fishing these probably for the next week or 2 and give you guys a report on which one I think is getting bit more, curly tail versus paddle tail. So what's your guys' experience?
So Coach says 100% curly tail back in the day. Cal says only curly tails I've used are the gulp minnows.
Gulp mullet.
Kevin Tyler says curly tails for the win. There you go. And Carter says, I fished the 2 styles completely different. The curly tail I fished more like a grub on the bottom, and if targeting halibut, but for any other faster presentation, I like to fish the paddle tail. That's a very good way to do it, Carter.
I agree with that analysis completely.
Yeah.
This you can fish extremely slow and get good action out of it.
Yeah.
And even if you have it set up on a drop looper where it's just kind of sitting there, the current will actually kind of get some action out of the tail, just not even reeling it. So you can get good action out of this.
Same thing Leonard's talking about. He said the only curly tail uses is also the goat mullet.
I know. Well, hey, it's all about trying and figuring out what works. And hey, since a lot of you guys don't fish this, let's give it a shot and let's give it an update and see what our success rate is on these guys.
I'm gonna do that. There you go.
Every time I go and look at like the swim baits, Ben, the curly tails are getting no love, man. There's like tons of them in there, and everybody's reaching for the paddle tails. And there's a ton of curly tails. I'm like, why is nobody picking those? But I'm gonna try them out. I'm gonna try to give curly tail some love.
That's really cool. Really cool. There you go. So, how are we gonna report this? We're gonna call in or put it in the chat.
Yeah.
Science project channel.
Our next science project: curly tail versus paddle tail. What works for you? And try, if you're gonna do it, try to, if you can, if it's possible, try to fish the same color. So I know we all have the chartreuse. The chartreuse gulp mullet, but do we have a swim bait that looks like that? I don't know if I don't know if Berkeley makes one, but I mean, if you can, try to switch the same one. But if not, fish whatever you got, and chime in, let us know what's working for you, and report it on Monday, or report it on Wednesday, whenever you want.
Cool.
Or in Discord.
Cal said Spotty's about to get scienced.
That's right. Science project number 2.
Science.
I want to constantly have an ongoing science project, but maybe every month.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
it keeps it fun.
So,
cool. And this is a kind of so Wayne says curly tail long before paddle tail, especially for deeper fish. Ooh, I like that one. Kevin Tyler
I know
says
those curly tails are like a foot long, and when they're diving down in deep water, it's just like it's crazy looking.
Kevin says DJ Thrill says curly tail, Mission Bay curly tail, San Diego Bay paddle tail. Interesting. Carter says okay, but the colors. What colors do you like for the grubs? I'm biased on chartreuse and root beer. Whichever color you guys want to use is fine. Just use the same color for both. Try to get similar color for both baits. That way.
If his question is, sorry.
Go ahead.
If his question is what color grub Berkeley do you like? They're all pretty good, but Berkeley makes this one color. I don't have the grub in it, but it looks like this color. I think it's called, what is this, camo? And that thing's on fire, dude. If you get the Berkeley Gulp Mullet camo or this fluke in camo, like I said, this is the avoid the skunk bait. If you can't catch a fish, they don't catch very big fish, but if you need to avoid the skunk, go for the Gulp Mullet.
There you go.
That's the avoid the skunk bait. It's like a sponge of scent.
Cool. That's very cool. Good stuff, guys. That's Kevin saying that was his finding. Good. Aaron said 5-inch Callan's grub. All the colors were great with owner saltwater 3/4 ounce bullet head. Yeah.
Don't forget
the bullet head. Yeah.
Don't forget nuclear chicken, guys. Nuclear chicken's it's like green and red. Oh man, I just buy it solely for the name.
Yeah. So Coach said it's called camo. That one you held up.
Yeah.
Yep.
Camo, nuclear chicken, chartreuse.
Root beer is good too. Let's see. SD Fishmon says, where do you get those Berkeley containers? They're Turner's, I guess. Turner. Most tackle shops.
So you can get these. You can get them at West Marine. I don't know if they have East County Bait and Tackle. They're usually underneath the baits, down low. So you got to look for them or ask for them.
Shelf.
But for sure, you can get them on Tackle Warehouse or online. Okay, so if we're going to talk about this, the reason I get these is because of all this juice in here, and I'll buy the package gulps, and I put them in here. So this is like my storage container. Because you know those packages, once you open them, it's a mess. Yeah. It's crud all over. So I store this one. Yeah, I store it in here. You just have to make sure that this thing's on tight, and there's like a gasket in there. If that thing falls out, just get rid of it because it's going to leak everywhere. So. Yeah. But this keeps the gulps, if you leave them out, they'll harden up, and this keeps them nice and fresh. So it's a good investment.
Leonard says they've seen them at Walmart. There you go.
I don't really buy a lot of.
Hey, would you soak your swim baits in that?
I have, dude. I've
Keep
experimented with that juice.
keep your
So
swim baits in there.
I like try to pickle them. Yeah,
Marinate them.
yeah.
Yeah,
Actually, I
pickle
have.
them.
I
Pickled
can't
swim
say
baits.
it made them like a super bait, but I think the Berkeleys are like, I don't know what they're made out of, but they
Like
literally
a
like
sponge.
suck the juice
Yeah.
in and expand.
Yeah.
You know, if they're dry, they're hard as a rock. When they get in that juice, they expand out. So
Kevin says some will get ruined in that juice. Okay, interesting. Makes sense.
yeah, they'll turn into that jelly. Like
Oh, yep.
pull it out and it'll fall apart into like it'll eat
Cool.
up the material.
Yeah, it says depends on the plastisol. That makes sense. Cool.
Yeah.
No good for swim baits, says Lemon. Okay. Been there, done that, says Kevin. That's cool. This is cool. See, that's why I love having you guys in here. You guys have
Yeah.
You guys have a lot of intel. Original curly tail is Blam. Original curly tail is Blam. That's cool. Is that like the name of the company? Are they still around, Wayne? It's already 8:10.
There's an original curly tail guy out there, huh? That came up with that. That's amazing. I would love to know the history, I guess, of curly tail.
Do not put Z-Man in gulp. Yeah, that's like a science project waiting to happen.
Z-Man, yeah. To me, Z-Man have most, especially the flukes, have that nice, like, they have this nice belly in them. And when I sent these things up, it's like a peanut butter sandwich, dude. I've like filled that thing up, and it's like peanut butter squeezing outside of it. These things are perfect for scent. They've just got this nice little groove right here that the hook sits in that holds the scent really well.
That's so fun.
So they're good for scent.
Cool.
So we are running about 8:10. I guess you want to go to the Texas rig next week, or you want to talk about this a little bit? What do you guys think? Texas rig talk. I'll just give a brief what a Texas rig is.
And then if we want to revisit it next week, we can go in depth. But
yeah. The only reason I'm really bringing this up is because I'm going to be fishing that 2-pound line, and I want something that's going to go through the grass without getting snagged a lot. Because with that 2-pound line, I think it's going to be kind of hard if you get snagged in there. You're going to have to maneuver around to get it out. If you're on the shore, it's going to be really hard with 2-pound line to get that out of the grass because you can't get that many angles on it. So I'm going to try going completely weedless at the beginning, and I think this is one of the best styles of weedless. And basically, what I've got here is a Zoom fluke, white color. I know this is a super popular bait with everybody. Everybody loves the Zoom fluke. You can fish this so many ways, but I'm going to show you how to Texas rig it. That basically, I'm going to dismantle this really quick. You've got to have two things. You've got to have, take that off. You've got to get a bullet weight, which looks like this. And this just slides in the line. It's basically a hole down a weight that it's called a bullet weight because it looks just like a bullet. When you buy them, they come in packages that look just like this. So you buy them about 6 at a time. And I like to fish like a 1/4 ounce, or I usually go a little lighter on this. I think this one right here is a 1/4 ounce, or even the 1/8 ounce. What do you fish on the? Do you do a lot of?
When I do it, I do 3/8.
Texas rigs.
I do 3/8 or 1/2 ounce.
Yeah. Yeah, 1/4. I like 1/4. I don't know. I like it a little lighter. You know what? Because I like to be able to bounce it a little bit. I fish it different than like the underspin. The underspin, I pause it, but this thing I kind of pause it and then give it a little twitch to kind of bring it up off the bottom and then let it sink because I can float it through the grass. I don't have to worry about that continuous pull through the grass to make it through or to keep it above. If this thing falls into the grass, it comes out really easily. So I fish, let me describe how I fish it. I cast it, hits the bottom, of course, everything hits the bottom, and then get it up off the bottom, drag it across, and then I let it fall, and I kind of follow that motion. Reel 10 feet, let it fall, hit the bottom, reel 10 feet, let it fall. And it's more of a bouncing motion than the jig head or the underspin.
Very cool. And this is something we can do next week. Brian, let's do this part. Hyder brings up a good point, and he reminded me of it. That trick where you can peg the fluke to the extra wide gap hook with a toothpick. Have you seen that before?
Oh yeah, I've heard of it, never done it.
Yeah, you basically put the toothpick through the head of the fluke in front of that little bend, so that way when the fish tugs on it, it won't pull it off the hook. That's a really good point right there.
Yeah. You're talking about the bait holder, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that's an awesome point. Yeah, I can demonstrate that, or we can show it next week. But yeah, that's an awesome technique. So I'm gonna quickly, where'd my fluke go? My fluke. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the next thing besides a bullet weight is an offset hook, which looks like this. If you haven't fished with one of these before, it's got this kind of weird bend right here, and it's got this big arc. Okay.
Yep.
So that's what a offset hook looks like.
There we go. That's perfect. Very good.
So see how it's got that weird bend in it, and then it kind of droops down and levels out right here. Those, let's see, this one I've got right here is a 1/0 Gamakatsu offset hook. And if you look at the zooms, they've got like a little head on them. I would say that's like a 1/4 inch long, where it ends at this belly. You see that? So you're going to take this hook, and you're going to center it to the center of this head. And this is going to be hard to show, but I'm just going to get it through. Okay, and you can see how it, right where the head kind of stops, right where the groove begins, you want that hook to poke out right at that spot right there. That's where I like to bring it through. And then I'm going to pull it all the way through. And I pull it about a 1/4 inch past the knot. So the head is now just past the eye of the hook and into the knot. And then you're going to take this hook and you're going to put it directly in the belly. So you see what it looks like right now? It's in the belly. So this is the correct way to do it. Bring it up from underneath, bring it into the belly. And now that we're a little bit past this, we're going to pull the fluke back a little, and we're going to stick it through the fluke, just so the very tip of it, you guys can, you're never going to see that, but the very tip of it,
if you put your hand behind it,
just barely,
it's
just barely poking through this, right here. I can barely touch it when I run my finger across it. And what we're going to do next is I'm going to push it through a little bit more, and you push it slightly forward, and it's called skin hooking it. So now the tip of that hook is just basically barely underneath the skin of the fluke. So now that when a fish comes and bites this, it's going to press down on this, and that's going to expose that hook, and then it's going to grab them on the lip. But the purpose of this is so that it's weedless. I can run my finger completely across this when it's stuck into the skin of the fluke, and I feel nothing. So it's going to run right through that grass. It's not going to get caught up on anything. It's a completely weedless bait. And it may take a few turns to get this down right. You may come in at a weird angle, but just slide it back. You want the body to be nice and straight. You don't want a big bend in it. You want it to look natural, like the hook's not even in there. So whatever it looked like before you put the hook in it, that's what you want it to look like. And I like to leave it the head a little bit in front of the eye. So now that the knot is covered by the head of the fluke, so that when this comes down and is bumping it, it's not bumping the knot. It's actually just bumping on the very front of the fluke. It's not touching the actual knot.
Very cool.
And I think over time that'll save that knot.
I like to put a bead in between the hook and the bullet weight.
Yeah,
I'll put
that
a bead
works
there
as a
sometimes,
knocker.
Yeah.
Yep, that works. That creates a sound, which is awesome. But if you don't have the knocker, then you can always just slide it just slightly forward of the knot. That's what I like to do. So it just doesn't hit that. So that's the Texas rig. That's the gist of it. If you guys want to hear more about it, we can talk about it another time, or if you have some questions.
Very cool.
But that's a super popular way to fish spotties. That I don't know if everybody does it, but if you're in a heavy weeded situation, that's a great way to go.
Next time I'm out there, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
I have all the stuff to set it up.
Just get another pole just for it.
Exactly right. That's my weedless extra wide gap hook.
That's
my bullet weight setup.
There you go.
And reel.
Yep.
I had a quick question from Alex Norton. Has anyone noticed a difference with braid color? I fish at night, so white or yellow would be nice. Alex, so I'll give you my 2 cents real quick, and then Brian can give you his 2 cents.
Yep.
Usually when I fish braid, day or night, at nighttime I won't put a leader, but in the daytime I'll put a leader that's at least like 4 feet long, so I don't think it affects the fish. I don't think the fish can see it, but it does help. Like Leonard was saying in the chat, it does help me see where my line is on the water, and it also the braid floats, so it's like easier to see when easier to see where your bait landed, I guess. So what's your thoughts on that?
Okay, so braid, I usually always fish a leader. I don't know why, I just always usually fish a leader, a fluorocarbon leader, usually 6 to 10 feet long. But for me, if he's talking about the color of the braid, like versus light green, dark green, yellow, white, all the colors that are out there, for me, what the braid is when I cast my bait in, I'm watching that braid on the surface. So I usually go with a lighter green color just because I personally want to see that braid. I want to see what it's doing. So I'm watching I cast it out, it hits the water, and I'm watching that braid. And sometimes I'll feed out a little line, and when I see that thing go on the bottom and that line twists up, it goes slack basically, I know I'm on the bottom, and that's when I start retrieving. So I use my braid as a visual to know when I'm on the bottom. That's mainly how I choose my color, because I'm always running a leader.
There you go. Cool.
Except on my A rig, I don't run a leader on that.
Yeah,
so,
same thing with the A rig.
I like the brighter color because I can see it. I want to see it. That's why when we fish at night, I felt like I was fishing blind. I'm so used to watching my braid, how tight it is, if it's pulling and stuff. I'm watching that line more than I'm like, almost as much as I'm feeling, I'm watching that line. And at night, it took that sense away from me, or I don't have that visual. So it was handicapping.
You should just take it off your socks.
Hey,
Hey,
for the show. Costco specials, the red line, man. That's what everybody wears.
Oh, that's funny. Cool. All right, guys. Aaron says I used white 40-pound Power Pro on a 100 size reel. Good stuff.
Oh, wow.
Cool. All right, guys. So I think that's gonna do it for tonight's show. It's 8:21. So, Brian, do you have any things you want to say before we sign the show off?
Once again, Roman, thanks for having me on. I truly enjoyed doing this show, guys. I hope we continue it for a long time. I'm going to put you on the spot, Roman, though. I want you to pick a Friday where we can have a dang trivia night again, man. I miss the trivia night. I don't care if it's just one trivia night, but sometime in the next month, give us a trivia night, man. Let's on all the shows we've done for the past months.
So we should do a mega trivia. How about we do a mega trivia night like once a month? How's that? How about that?
Yeah.
Will you guys be
you know what? I'm gonna donate a prize to it too. So maybe we get some other people to donate. Make a big one.
Make it a big one. That makes sense. Will you guys be down? I miss trivia nights. Yeah, I miss doing trivia night too. It's fun. Nice show, guys. Cool. Okay, yeah. So everybody's down for trivia night. Okay, cool. We need to have a trivia night soon. That would be rad. Okay, cool.
Mega trivia.
Mega trivia.
So thanks, Roman, for having me on. Sorry to put you on the spot on that, but dude,
we'll do it. So let me see. We're
all right.
In the middle.
There you go, guys. I got you a trivia night.
Okay. How about we do it? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it on the 25th of September. That's not this Friday, but next Friday. Okay, and we'll pump it up the whole week, so it's exciting. But you guys have to do me a favor, okay? You guys have to get your friends to come watch the show on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and share the stream. If the show is growing, we're gonna keep making videos, and I'm enjoying it now that the workload is not as intense as it was before, doing it every day. Brian's a huge help. I always appreciate you taking the time to help me with this show. So it makes it more sustainable for me, both in my personal life and just my sanity. Right? Yeah, but trivia. But I do miss trivia night, guys. I do miss doing trivia night.
All right, man. I'm looking forward to that. But hey, thanks, Roman. I really like it, and I'll see you guys next Wednesday. So get out there, snag some grass, and catch some bass, guys.
Awesome.
Later.
All right, later, Brian. I'm gonna take Brian off the screen. Cool. All right, guys. Yeah. So there you go. So we will be doing trivia night on Friday the 25th. I'll start coming up with trivia questions. We'll probably do a double. I think before we should do three questions for 4 rounds plus a bonus round. We're gonna double that. Okay, we'll double that. We'll do 24 questions with 4 bonus questions. Okay, that's gonna be a lot. It'll probably be a 2-hour show, but it'll be on a Friday. It'll be a good time. I think it'll be fun. So let me kick on the music. Once again, thank you for coming and checking out the show. I hope you enjoyed it. Do me a favor, hit that like button before you guys head out. And if you want, it's no pressure, but it would be great if you could share the show with a friend. It doesn't have to be all your friends. It can just be that one person that you know is getting into fishing. They're trying to figure it out, and you'd be doing them a favor by bringing them to the show, because we're going to take all their questions and we're going to help them out, going to get them going. and it'll be a good time. If you had a good time, they're gonna have a good time, and then you'll be in here. It'll be like a friend of a friend. It'll be awesome. And then Saturday, we're gonna be doing some fishing together as a group, together but apart on our own kayaks. The details for that will be posted on the Facebook group. It's Mad Max Fishing Club in Facebook. You can find us that way, or if you type in exclamation point, what is it? I forget what it is. Anyway, somebody, one of the mods or somebody type it into the chat. There you go, MMFC. Thanks, Tony. Tony's still on. There you go, represented. So that'll take you to the Facebook group, and that's where we post our outings. If you want to come, just say going, so we know you're coming. And then there I usually have all the instructions, like where we're gonna meet, what time, how long I think the session's gonna be, and what we're targeting, and it's a good time. Cool. And then on we also have our Discord page. Our Discord tools that we use to communicate while we're on the water. So if you're gonna come out with us on any weekend, please have Discord downloaded and set up on your phone, so when you get to the water, bring your headset, and we can be on. It's like a party call. We're all talking on the water, and we're sharing the knowledge and the stoke of hearing other people hook up on fish. So that's what's up. Okay, so that's it. That's the end of the show. I'll see you guys. I'll see you guys on. I might stream tomorrow from the water, just on Twitch. So let me put the Twitch up here real quick. It's a show that never ends, guys. RomanCastro.com/Twitch. That'll take you to my Twitch profile. Go on there and hit that follow, so then you guys can see when I'm actually streaming. I might stream tomorrow or Friday from the water, just as an extra session, because I didn't get a session in this weekend for the stream. Okay, so cool. Hope everybody had a good show, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a good one. Bye. Okay, wait for this to end out. All right, cool. In there. All right, cool. You're back.